it's time to call out Janno Lieber, Chairman and CEO of the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. And why are we calling him out? You know, I used to like the guy when he was in charge of MTA Capital Construction and Development. But now he's gotten very, very arrogant, and today he made some remarks that were completely uncalled for. And so we're going to listen to those remarks right now.
Bit of a separate topic. We spoke with Passengers United, the advocacy group, who's been a bit critical of just LIRR and MTA leadership in terms of correcting issues, after they've occurred and ensuring rider safety. Just giving you an opportunity to provide any response to that. They also said that they felt there was a bit of a sugarcoating as far as the injuries went from yesterday's incident.
Well, listen, the description of the injuries is the fire departments, and they gave a very detailed account of the injuries. Remember, after that quick response, folks came back to Jamaica and were triaged by the EMS professionals. So somebody wants to second guess the doctors and nurses and clinicians on EMS.
All right, hold it right there. We're not second guessing anything. All right, but it gets worse. It gets way worse.
That tells you something about those folks and their level of credibility. I don't buy into.
So he basically said that we're not credible.
To second guessing the fire department and EMS. Broadly speaking, the MTA is actually having we're in a great moment. Ridership is apples to apples.
Here he goes, sugarcoating things again. Sugarcoating things. Saying how great things are when things are not great. And to make that comment and to say that the people have no credibility. And we're going to listen to it again. Because it was completely uncalled for.
Professional. So somebody wants to second guess the doctors and nurses and clinicians on EMS. That tells you something about those folks and their level of credibility.
So that's something I take personal. All right? It was a serious thing, this derailment. All right, he's trying to sugarcoat it. Derailments shouldn't happen, Janno. Derailments should not happen. Something went wrong. Something went wrong somewhere. All right? And he's acting like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal that the train derailed. Not a big deal. The train was going 55 miles an hour. Here is a look at it again. All right, so not a big deal. Not a big deal. I think it's a pretty big deal, in my opinion. All the cars came off the tracks. You can see the back end of it got the worst part of it. Again, this was an eastbound Hempstead train. All right? Derailments don't just happen because they happen. They happen because something wasn't maintained right. Something wasn't maintained right, either on the train or on the track bed. I can only speculate if it was a switch or whatever. You see the whole thing with Floral Park and that switch, all right? We all know how they treat the main line, all right? We all know they treat the main line like crap, all right? And they continue to treat the main line like crap today, especially people on the Ronkonkoma line, all right? All right? This, again, was from yesterday. They were jammed into an 8-car train, all right? To close some of these up, all right? Jammed into an 8-car train, all right? While everybody on the Babylon branch, plenty of room for them. An ICE M3, too, 12 cars for them, all right? Okay, it's obvious who Janno cares about. It's completely obvious. Let's get to what happened today here, all right? The Huntington line only had one train canceled today. It was the 506, all right? But the Ronkonkoma line had 4 trains canceled, all right? 4 trains were canceled, including one that connects up with the Greenport train. So this is a big problem, all right? Now, half of these, they even canceled trains from Penn. 4 trains, and none on the Hempstead line. None from the Hempstead line. All right, the Hempstead line is lower ridership than the Ronkonkoma line. All right, but yet no Hempstead trains get canceled. When it's really the track that the Hempstead train uses that was damaged. Why is that? Now, I know people say Hempstead. No. The fact is you have most of the ridership on the Hempstead line comes from Garden City, which is a very wealthy area. Huntington line has wealthy areas. Which line doesn't have any wealthy areas along it? Oh, that's right, the Ronkonkoma line. So let's cancel 4 Ronkonkoma trains, including another one that had an equipment problem, which I have in here. Yep, that one had an equipment problem. All right. So, yep, let's just cause even more overcrowding on the Ronkonkoma line, shall we? They just love screwing the Ronkonkoma line. Because you know who Janno represents. He represents these people. All right, he represents those are very important people on the South Shore. The movers and shakers, the people who run Wall Street. All right? People on the Ronkonkoma line, well, we don't count. We're not a certain demographic, so we don't count. It's obvious who he represents. And he doesn't like Passengers United because Passengers United doesn't buy into that crap. We don't work with Wall Street. We're not funded by Wall Street, unlike that other organization called Fraudsters Alliance. All right? So we're not affiliated with Wall Street. We're looking out for the riders. We're looking out for the people. All right? And then Janno makes some stupid comment about that. It's obvious Janno Lieber is corrupt. It really is obvious. And yeah, I mean, look at the tracks on the Babylon line. Look at how pristine they are. All right? This is even the areas that have wood ties are just pristine and straight. All right? There's another look at the Babylon line and Valley Stream. Look at how pristine and straight everything is. All right? A few more here. Again, look at how pristine and straight everything is. I mean, just look at that. And that's that's just beautiful. And instead of ugly concrete walls, we have trees. It's much more prettier to take the Babylon branch. Yet when we go to the main line, and I know these pictures are hazy because they were taken in the smoke. When we go to the main line, take a look at these tracks. This is east of Mineola. And you can see they're kind of wobbly. This one, like, zigzags. Why is it doing this? Whose idea was to have the track do this? I know there's smoke here. But whose idea was to have the track do this? I mean, it's not straight. That doesn't even look straight. All right? So, again, this is the quality we get. We don't get the same quality the people on the South Shore get. And somehow, because I'm saying that, I'm not credible. It's just another way to discredit us. Another picture here of the tracks. See, they're crooked. They're not straight. They're wobbly. You ride the main line. You feel it. The Babylon branch is like smooth as butter. We have concrete ties, and the main line is still rough. Because the infrastructure is inferior. Then you get all these weak wooden poles that they put up. We don't get the big metal high-tension poles that they get on the Babylon branch. No, we get this crap. All right? There are only a few areas they gave us high-tension lines. All right? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then, getting back to what happened tonight, they canceled again. This app doesn't even tell you, what if you need to get that Greenport train? And they canceled the train that connects up with it. Look at the gap in service, 6:20, and then the next train isn't until over half an hour later, and they cancel that one. I mean, they just screw the Ronkonkoma line. It's obvious what's going on. It's so obvious what's going on. Again, it's all about the South Shore. We know that already. All right? And you have these cracks in the Jamaica structure. This is decrepit. This is worse than anything I've ever seen. And he doesn't address this. Oh, we're doing better than ever. This is not better than ever, Janno. So, Janno, you have some nerve saying that. That was completely uncalled for. And you got to remember, they're raising fares, too, of course. Raising the tolls August 6th and August 20th. They're so quick to raise our fares when New Jersey Transit isn't raising their fares. Oh, we're doing great. We're doing great. No, we're not doing great, Janno. Ask the people who ride the subway how they feel and how safe they feel. They don't feel safe. All right? Ask the people who ride the Long Island Railroad who've had their commutes upended by these new schedules that are still messed up. And ask the people, especially on the main line, how they feel. Ask the people who have to use the train in Mineola where there's no freaking place to sit and the waiting room isn't even open on weekends. Now, it's obvious who you serve, Janno. And that's why you're getting called out. And yes, there was a time I was a big fan of the NTA. And sometimes you'll hear me rant and say, oh, well, I wish we had MTA Long Island bus around. But the MTA that existed when we had MTA Long Island Bus no longer exists. It's very corrupt, and they don't care. So that's why we have Nice Bus. But at least Nice Bus doesn't try to discredit people who criticize them. I'll give them that. At least they don't do that. So this is the state of the MTA, folks. And, it's really a shame what's happened. The MTA used to be very respected years ago, but now it's become a joke. Well, look at the governor. That's why. The governor controls the MTA. Cuomo ruined it. And Hochul is she's Cuomo in drag. She's continuing the same thing. So I think this video is long enough, but no, things are not fine, Janno. The train derailed. People could have died. Fortunately, they didn't. But this is not something you sugarcoat. And you are sugarcoating it. Derailments are serious. And I really hope the FRA investigates, and maybe even the NTSB, and find out what's going on, because there is neglect. There is targeted neglect, particularly on the main line. Well, you know exactly what's going on and who you favor, Janno. Stop playing games. All right? And, I dare you to say that, discredit me and say, oh, that Pine Parallel guy, he criticized me on YouTube. Oh, he's not credible. No, Janno, you're the one who's not credible, because you're not serving all the riders. You're only serving the snobs. Only those preppy lily-white fine professionals, certain neighborhoods where the chosen ones lives, where the rest of us, well, we've got to worry about being on a train that derailed because somebody didn't maintain something properly. I criticize Nice about maintenance, but, when you're maintaining a railroad, it's a lot more serious than the buses, all right? Derailments shouldn't happen. And somewhere, once this investigation is fine, we'll find what happened. That track wasn't taken care of properly somewhere. I don't think it was the M7 car. I think it was, though you can't see out the windows of the M7 cars, Janno. And you won't do anything about that either. All right? Funny, I can see out the windows of Nice Bus. Yeah, at least I'll give him credit for that. At least I can see out the windows of Nice Buses. You know what I mean? So, anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching. Janno Lieber, you should be ashamed of yourself. And really, I really think you should resign, but we know that's not going to happen. But, if Lee Zeldin won, we know your ass would be out. But unfortunately, the game continues, the plan continues, and I'm going to continue your fight against it. Thank you for watching.